And then I just saw this from Fabrizio saying that, what did he say? Manchester United have had a loan proposal rejected by Atletico Madrid for Conor Gallagher. United asked for Gallagher, but no plans to let him leave on loan. And look, it's very, very clear that one true aspect is that we did want Conor Gallagher. And I thought to myself, if we did want Conor Gallagher, what was going to happen to Mainoo? Like, seriously, where was Mainoo? Mainoo's game time would have been restricted even more, because we would have had Conor Gallagher, Ugarte, Casemiro, Bruno, and Mainoo. Was the plan to remove Mainoo and bring Gallagher in, or was the plan to keep Mainoo and bring Gallagher in? And I thought, you know what? We might be missing a point here, and we'll never establish the truth. But what if Ruben Amorim was standing by his opinion that if you don't want to be here, you can go? And he's not happy with the club. I mean, look, I don't know. We might be reading between the lines here a little bit, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been reported by Fabrizio Romano as getting involved in this. Sky Sports this morning are saying that Jason Wilcox didn't think a midfielder was a priority. The story is developing all the time around the midfield. Now, my information has always been Ruben Amorim wants Mainoo at the club. Wilcox and Amorim desperately wanted a midfielder. We're now starting to get, well, is that the truth? You know, is that the truth? Would Amorim have let Mainoo go on loan if he'd got Conor Gallagher? Did Sir Jim Ratcliffe step in and say, we're not doing that, we're keeping Mainoo? In which case, it could just feed into what I call the bottom feeders, because they just want to feed shit into the club. That, you know, this is my problem. This is my problem. And even we're talking about it, but it is a news show. It's going to get spoken about. It is already. If there's an inch, people take a yard. And my point around that is, Man United have been very insistent that if you don't want to be here, you can go. We clearly did go for Conor Gallagher. We didn't get Conor Gallagher, and we forced Mainoo to stay. Do you think we had total and utter unity on that decision? Do you think in the boardroom, Amorim, Wilcox, Barada, Favell, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe sat there and went, let's keep a player that doesn't want to be here. Let's not move for Conor Gallagher. We clearly did move for Conor Gallagher. So what is the truth amongst all this? Because it will probably never come out, but there could have been a scenario where Amorim went, you know what, if he doesn't want to be here and he wants to go on loan, get him on loan, get me Conor Gallagher. And United went, we can't get you Conor Gallagher, so we've got to keep Mainoo. In which case, that doesn't fit with anything I've just said. Maybe that was what happened. Maybe it was as simple as, if Mainoo wants to go on loan and it's not a sale, let's do it, Napoli, whatever, but get me Conor Gallagher. And the club's gone, we'll try that. Didn't work, you end up with Mainoo. In which case, that's a failure. That's a failure, because you're saying, let's get somebody in as a replacement, let him go on loan, he'll come back in a year. And we didn't get that done either. So I don't know. Read into it what you want. But I think what we're left with is a situation where a player that wanted to go is here, a manager that may be a little bit, you know, might have lost a bit of trust in him because of that. And we definitely 100% tried to get another player in on transfer deadline day, and we didn't. And that's where we are. And we got to go with what we've got. But Louis Zaha has been talking sense. Now, I don't think Zaha is an ex-player that always talks sense, but he's been talking to The Athletic. Basically, he said, I think Šeško is going to struggle. He said, I think Šeško is going to struggle, and I think Man United have made the same mistake again. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring this in because it's not something we've spoken about. And although I think some ex-players just mumble rubbish a lot of the time, every now and again, you do get something quite interesting. And what he basically said was, and it's to do with the midfield, and it follows on from what we were talking there, he's another ex-player like you. You're not ex-players, but he agrees with you. He said, basically, they haven't solved the biggest issue, and that's the midfield. And I think Šeško is going to struggle because of it, because Man United have made the same mistake again. He said, when I was at Manchester United and you brought a young player in, whether it was a Wayne Rooney or whoever, you had a surrounding of experienced players there to help for them and support them. And the young player tended to bring something in unpredictable, something different, so that when you were playing Everton or Fulham, they knew that you had experienced good players, but then you had this younger player that was just, you know, unpredictable. And United used that to their advantage. And and he's right. I'm old enough to remember when Ryan Giggs came into the team, and you had people like Mark Hughes and Brian McClare, etc.